past, nestled between the gentle curves of rolling hills, lay a small town known as Riverside. Once a vibrant tapestry of laughter and community, the town thrived on the warmth of its people, the lush greens of its gardens, and the bustling markets where friendships blossomed. Travelers would often whisper, "If you visit Riverside, you will never feel like a stranger." The sweet aroma of freshly baked bread mingled with the scent of blooming flowers, and the sun always seemed to shine a little brighter there. But as seasons changed, so did Riverside. Factories sprang up, belching smoke that veiled the sky in a gray shroud. The town grew prosperous, yet with wealth came a chilling frost that seeped into the hearts of its inhabitants. Neighbors, once eager to share a meal or lend a helping hand, became mere shadows of themselves, their smiles fading like the colors of the sunset. The mayor, a man consumed by greed, turned his back on the kindness that once defined Riverside. Years rolled by, and the town transformed into a cold shell of its former self. People walked with their heads down, avoiding eye contact, their hearts hardened by indifference. The vibrant gardens wilted, and the markets echoed with silence instead of laughter. Riverside had forgotten the most precious treasure of all, kindness. One crisp autumn evening, as leaves danced in the wind and painted the streets gold, a stranger wandered into Riverside. Clad in a worn gray coat, his presence was almost ethereal, as if he were a part of the very mist that surrounded him. He carried a small wooden box, and though his eyes were clouded with age, they sparkled with a deep understanding of the world. The townspeople, oblivious to his arrival, rushed by him without a glance, their faces etched with worry and weariness. Finally, the stranger found a bench in the town square, sat down, and murmured, "Ah, this town has forgotten." The next morning, curiosity stirred among the townsfolk as they found the old man standing in the square, opening his mysterious box. Inside were dozens of tiny glowing stones, each one radiating soft, warm light, reminiscent of captured stars twinkling in the night's embrace. Children were the first to notice, their innocent laughter breaking through the gloom. "What is that?" a young boy, Eli, asked, his eyes wide with wonder. The stranger smiled, a gentle curve of his lips that sparked a flicker of hope. "These are seeds of kindness. Wherever one is planted, kindness will grow again." Eli, skeptical yet intrigued, hesitated as the stranger handed him a stone. "Try it," the old man encouraged. Eager, yet apprehensive, Eli took the stone home to his family's modest house, where their garden lay dry and lifeless. Under the watchful eye of the moon, he planted the stone in the barren soil, watering it with the hope that still flickered in his heart. When dawn broke, Eli rushed outside, and to his astonishment, a small tree had sprouted, glowing with golden leaves that shimmered like the sun's first rays. It was no ordinary tree. Anyone who stood near it felt an inexplicable warmth enveloping them. When Eli's mother stepped outside, a cascade of memories washed over her, times when neighbors shared meals and laughter. Tears brimmed in her eyes as she hugged her son tightly and whispered, "We forgot how to care. But maybe it's not too late." Word spread like wildfire through Riverside. People flocked to see Eli's tree, and for the first time in years, strangers exchanged kind words, warmed by the gentle glow of hope. However, not everyone was pleased. The mayor, watching from his mansion, felt a surge of greed as he observed the glow of the tree. "If I control these seeds, I can sell them and amass a fortune," he thought, his heart darkening further. He commanded his guards to seize the old stranger. When they found him, the mayor's voice boomed with arrogance. "Give me all the seeds. They belong to Riverside, and I am its leader." But the stranger shook his head, his voice calm yet firm. "No, they do not belong to anyone. Kindness cannot be owned, only shared." The mayor's rage flared, and he ordered his men to grab the box. But as they clutched it tightly, the stones within turned dark and vanished before their eyes. Shocked, the guards released their grip, terror etched across their faces. The stranger's words rippled through the air. Greed cannot touch kindness. It dies in selfish hands. Standing before the townspeople, the stranger proclaimed, "You must choose. Kindness can return, but only if you care for it. These seeds will grow only if you give more than you take. If you forget again, the seeds will fade forever." He handed stones to the children, their eyes wide with possibility. Children still carry open hearts. Let them be the gardeners of kindness. With that, without another word, the stranger walked into the mist, vanishing from their sight. No one ever saw him again. The children, filled with hope and determination, planted seeds in empty yards, school grounds, and even along the riverbanks where grime had settled. Gradually, glowing trees sprang up all over Riverside, each one a beacon of nostalgia that unlocked cherished memories. A woman remembered her neighbor's kindness during her illness. A shopkeeper recalled a stranger's generosity when he was hungry, and a lonely man found solace in memories of his wife's baking that once filled the air with sweetness. As memories flooded back, actions followed. People began sharing food again. Children played in the streets, and the market thrived, not from wealth, but from genuine friendship and community spirit. Yet, the mayor remained unchanged, still blinded by selfishness. One fateful day, he decided to cut down a glowing tree, imagining he could sell its wood for profit. But as the tree crashed to the ground, his mansion trembled, and walls cracked, as if the very foundation of greed was collapsing beneath him. In a panic, the mayor fled Riverside, never to return. Some said he searched for more seeds, but without kindness in his heart, he would find none. As the years passed, Riverside blossomed anew, not for its wealth or industry, but for its kindness trees. Travelers came from far and wide, feeling peace and belonging when they entered its borders. Children who once planted the seeds grew into guardians of the town's legacy, sharing tales of the stranger, the seeds, and the peril of forgetting kindness. Riverside thrived, not perfect, but filled with hope. Each time temptation knocked at their door, the glowing trees stood tall, whispering reminders of what truly mattered in life. Years later, Eli, the boy who planted the first seed, now an old man with gentle wrinkles etched from a life well lived, often sat beneath his radiant tree, now the tallest and brightest in Riverside. One day, a curious child approached him, eyes wide with wonder, and asked, "Grandfather Eli, will the seeds ever run out?" Eli smiled, the warmth of wisdom in his gaze. "No, child, the seeds never run out, for they are not merely stones. They live inside us. Every kind word, every helping hand, every shared meal, those are seeds. When you give kindness, you plant another tree in someone's heart." The child's face lit up with excitement. "So I can plant seeds too?" "Yes," Eli replied, his heart swelling with pride. "And so can everyone." In that moment, the story of Riverside transcended mere words. It became a profound reminder to the world. Kindness, once forgotten, can always be remembered again. But only if we choose to plant it.